Throughout the duration of Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re, we've watched as our main character Ken Kaneki has transcended into numerous different personalities. Each and every personality has brought about a new way to look at our main character in Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re, and some personalities have even given Kaneki the ability to grow not only as a character as far as his personality goes, or, well, his multiple personalities go, but also in terms of strength. Example being when we saw Jason actually torture Kaneki, in doing so causing a shift in Kaneki's personality, where he finally accepted the fact that he was a ghoul. This in return allowed for Kaneki to grow more simply as a character in terms of his strength specifically, and changed him from the timid ghoul that hadn't fully accepted his fate as a ghoul to just a completely ruthless ghoul willing to do whatever he could to simply survive in the world. And with this evident growth and strength in mind, while watching Kaneki transcend into these different personalities, I want to make a video centered around Kaneki's personality and which of said personalities are the strongest in the form of a list. So here are Kaneki's top 3 strongest personalities within Tokyo Ghoul Re. Number 3, Haze Sasaki. After his loss to Arima at the end of Tokyo Ghoul, we pick back up with Kaneki in Tokyo Ghoul Re. Now, however, a lot had changed since we had last seen him. Over the span of 2 years within the story, Kaneki had lost all of his memories from the past 20 years of his life and had been inducted into the CCG only to become one of their strongest assets in the Department of Ghoul Investigators. Kaneki was now known as Haze Sasaki, and although he lacked his memories from the past 20 years of his life, he would often have dreams in which a mysterious figure would greet him. Little did he know, this mysterious figure was Ken Kaneki, and represented all the memories that of which he had lost after his fight with Arima, and this caused Haze Sasaki to question his very existence and wonder what had taken place in the first 20 years of his life, none of which he could truly remember for the time being. Even with this lingering question in mind, and with this disturbing, mysterious figure haunting him day by day, Haze Sasaki lived a relatively normal life. However, with that being said, Haze was also incredibly powerful, and definitely was one of Kaneki's strongest personalities. Even as Haze Sasaki, he was by far one of the strongest CCG members, leading the CCG's notorious Q Squad. Within the early chapters of Tokyo Ghoul Re, on his very first operation, we saw Haze endure as a member of the CCG. We watched as Haze simply lost control of himself and transcended into his past ghoul-like nature. At this point in time, members of the CCG were then forced to apprehend him, as Haze was considered to be an SS-rated ghoul, and in terms of rating, Haze was considered to be the 4th most dangerous rating as far as ghouls go, out of 12 possible ratings a ghoul could receive. This means that Haze was not someone to be messed with whatsoever, and considering the fact that he as well was one of the strongest of the CCG, which at the time consists of characters such as Arima, there is no doubt in my mind that Haze held a large amount of power, and for these reasons, I'm putting Haze Sasaki as the 3rd strongest personality of Kaneki's personalities. Number 2, the Black Reaper. During an operation aiming to rid of the Tsukiyama family, we yet again met another one of Kaneki's personalities, the Black Reaper. A personality that led to Kaneki attaining a good bulk of his memories, but at the same time, not all of his memories. The Black Reaper personality was a major step, though, in the direction of regaining these memories of Kaneki's past, and ultimately allowed for Kaneki to remember a good bulk of his past, as said before. Following his transcendence into this personality, we watched as Kaneki became somewhat evil. Now, Kaneki has well reached a point where he was incredibly violent. Really, I'd personally describe him more as violent than evil, but it's all subjective, and it was definitely a mixture of both. Now, on top of this, Kaneki didn't show much empathy for those around him when he did fall into this personality, and really was almost void of all emotion, aside from emotions like violence. However, he did show a small amount of empathy towards Hinami, of all people. Within this personality, one of the most notable things that Kaneki was capable of doing was holding his own against Eto, a SSS-rated ghoul, which is the top rating on the rating scale when it comes to ghouls. With Eto being the founder and leader of the Algiri tree at the time, that's definitely nothing short of an accomplishment, and as well is something I truly doubt Kaneki would have been capable of doing without this personality of the Black Reaper. With the added violence his personality brought, it definitely allowed for Kaneki to be ruthless in battle, something he definitely needed to go against Eto. And mainly for this reason, I'm putting Black Reaper as the 2nd strongest personality that Kaneki has shown. Number 1, Whitehaired Kaneki. At this current point within Tokyo Ghoul Re, Kaneki is constantly seen within this personality. It is essentially base Kaneki, and it may seem a little bit crazy that I put this personality in the #1 spot on this list, but I do want to mention that this form comes with Kaneki's centipede form, as well as his half Kakuja form, which are incredibly powerful, both of which. And Whitehaired Kaneki, Kaneki's base personality, is the personality we saw within both of these forms, which is why I'm putting Whitehaired Kaneki at the #1 spot. Let us not forget the fact that this is the personality that we saw Kaneki under when he was holding his own against CCG's very own Arima, who at the time was essentially the ace of the CCG. Now, personally, I don't necessarily believe Kaneki beat Arima on his own. However, coupled with the half Kakuja form that he was capable of holding, he was able to hold his own against Arima as well as one-up Arima. But the reason why he didn't beat Arima, in my personal opinion, stems from the fact that Arima did actually kill himself at the end of the fight because Kaneki himself just simply wouldn't. With that being said, under this personality, Kaneki as well was crowned the title of the One-Eyed King, and at this point is one of the biggest, most well-known ghouls in Tokyo Ghoul, period. Now, base form Whitehaired Kaneki is definitely powerful in and of itself, don't get me wrong. However, the personality really does shine when Kaneki's half Kakuja form and centipede forms are actually inducted into the picture. Half Kakuja, again, allowing him to one-up Arima, who is shown to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest member of the CCG, and centipede being incredibly beneficial in the department of things such as his agility. As I've said before, this personality really does shine when it comes to Kaneki's half Kakuja form. However, we're really yet to see Kaneki's full Kakuja, as during this fight against Arima, his Kakuja was never completed. So, with that being said, the likelihood of us seeing Kaneki complete his Kakuja under this personality is incredibly high, and will likely happen in the near future. And keeping the sheer strength that we saw out of the half Kakuja in mind, then doubling that strength to reach Kaneki's full Kakuja's strength, the strength will be something out of this world. Like, for these reasons, I personally do believe, though, that Whitehaired Kaneki is Kaneki's strongest personality. So, that's going to do it for Kaneki's strongest personalities. Tell me your opinions in the comment section of this video. What do you think Kaneki's strongest personalities are? Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new if you want to see some more Tokyo Ghoul Re-related content. Peace.